Hi, it's Miss Alana, and we are working on today's math practice. It is Wednesday, March the 16th, and we are on number 10. Woohoo! We are done with everything. Well, I hope you're done with all the other problems. If not, make sure you go back and get those done. If you need to watch the videos for some help, go find the other videos. All right, are you ready for number 10? So get your work. Number 10. So the standard is geometry, geometry number 3. And if you can do this problem, you can say the I can statement. I can divide circles and rectangles into equal parts. I can describe equal parts as part of a whole. And I can recognize equal shares of identical shapes do not have to be the same shape. All right? So I'm working on number 10. Let's get started with that. So read number 10. It says, partition the rectangle to show 8 equal parts, shade one part, and write different ways to describe the shaded part. I was trying to read through the back of the paper. All right, so we need to partition that rectangle into how many equal parts? 8 parts. Now, there are lots of ways you can partition that. You can do 8 columns, or you can have 8 rows. I am going to do 2 rows. So watch me do that. All right, so if I do 2 rows, look at that. How many equal parts do I have? I have 4. Well, no, I don't have 4. I have 2. 1, 2. But I need 8. So I have a challenge question for you. I am going to draw columns going this way. How many columns should we draw? We should have how many columns when we have 2 rows to make 8? If you know your times table, you can figure that out. 2 times 4. So I need 4 sections, okay? So I'm going to draw 3 lines. 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines. And there we go. Now, remember, you don't have to do it my way. You can do 8 columns that way, or you can have 8 rows going that way. All right, so now we need to shade. How many parts? 1 part. So I am going to shade 1 part. Remember, you can use a crayon or you can use your pencil. Make it nice and neat. So there is 1 part. And what can we name this? How can we name it? We can call it 1/8. So write that as a fraction. And let's see if our answers match up. 1/8, are you ready? Oh, there's 1/8. And then you have to spell 1/8. All right, I'll help you spell it. O-N-E is how you spell 1. You should know that. 8th. E-I-G-H-T, and then an H at the end, okay? So that one might have been kind of tricky. So you write 1/8. Now, the way I remember to spell the word eighth is you spell the word 8, E-I-G-H-T, then you add an H at the end, 1/8. All right, so the next rectangle, it says, partition the rectangle to show 8 equal parts, so just like we did here. And this time we are going to shade 8 parts, okay? And we're going to shade 8 parts and write the different ways to describe the shaded part. So I am going to do it the same way I did my first rectangle. I'm going to make 2 rows and then 4 columns, just like that, okay? Now, how many do we shade? All 8 parts. So I'm going to shade that. You shade all 8 parts. Now make sure you don't shade it too dark that you're covering up your lines, okay? We still need to see the 8 different parts. So color, shade it, shade this part, shade the next part, and then shade the last part, okay? So there are my 8 shaded parts. Make sure you do yours nice and neat, okay? So how can we name this rectangle, this fraction? 8/8. So how do we write that as a fraction? 8 over 8. Look, 8 over 8, just like that. Then we need to spell it out. All right. 8/8. Spell that. E-I-G-H-T. That's how you spell 8. Then we spell eighths now. E-I-G-H-T and then H. Oh, you know what? I remember. Do you remember that skip counting video that we do? The one with the eighths, the one with the cow that goes, ah! That one. Remember, E-I-G-H-T. We're counting by 8, you and me. So that's how you can remember how to spell 8 too. See, I remember. All right, there's one last way we can name this thing. Since I shaded all of it, we call that the whole. One whole, because the one whole thing is shaded. So write one whole. O-N-E. Whole is W-H-O-L-E. One whole, just like that. So we can name this fraction 8/8 with our numbers, 8/8 with words, and one whole. So yeah, we are done with all our work for today. So give yourself a double thumbs up. Oh, hold on. Don't forget to explain. Let me know how you did that problem, okay? So we are done with all our problems. Yeah. Time to celebrate. I will see you tomorrow.